Now let's see another game of you, and once again it's a French, so it's exactly the same variation, so I'll play it through pretty quickly. We have exactly the same position up to here. Here we just saw knight c3, now we're seeing bishop g5, and now you're playing it correctly, knight h5. Maybe you were aware that this is one of the main lines here. Queen c2, h6, this is all theory as far as I know. And we get to this position. This is the first critical point. Here you have two options to take back, and queen takes looks stronger. It might be odd at first because it is allowing white to repair his pawn structure, but on the other hand you get another pawn, the pawn on d4, and this is important because this is a key pawn because it allows you to have a stronger center, to get the bishop out, and that just changes a whole lot of things. And here black is absolutely fine. I think you have a very nice knight on d4. White's king position is weak, and you can get the bishop out, you can get the rook out, and black has sufficient compensation. So let's see the game. Bishop takes, bishop g3, bishop d7, rook a1, rook f8, rook f8, queen d3, queen b6, very nice, going for the weaknesses in the white position. Takes, rook h1, queen d8, okay, that's possible. You could have taken on d4 right away, there was nothing wrong with that. I'm not sure what you didn't like here, because, I mean, just take a pawn, attack another pawn, it's just very natural, right, to play this. So I'm not sure what you didn't like here. But queen d8 is good too. Rook h5, and now this move really surprised me, because up to here you played a really nice game, you sacrificed the exchange, great compensation, but rook h4 is a step in the wrong direction. You need your potential in this position, you need your pieces. Don't exchange your attacking potential. Okay, this rook is really nice on the 4th rank. It's attacking the pawn on d4, which you could have taken here, by the way. Could have taken with the knight. And also you are having pressure on the f file. Queen f6 would have been a very strong move, keeping an eye on this pawn, keeping an eye on this pawn, just a multi-purpose move. And what is white going to do? Rook h1, maybe, I'm guessing this is what you were concerned of. That white is maybe sacrificing on h6, but okay, just sidestep here on g8 and white can never sacrifice if you are concerned about that. And then you're just going to cruise here. Knight takes d4, pressure on the f file. This is pretty much lost for white, I think. So, but there's a big takeaway here. I think this is the biggest takeaway from this game, maybe from this overall session for you. Rook h4, if you are down material, and especially in this situation where you sacrifice an exchange, you want to keep your material on the board so you have potential to attack your opponent's king and pose problems. With reduced material, it's easier for white to play and convert his material advantage, right? I mean, there is this rule of thumb: if you're up material, exchange pieces; if you're down material, exchange pawns. And of course there are exceptions to all these rules, but they apply many times, and especially in this situation where you sacrifice in exchange, keep your other rook on the board, it could really be quite valuable. Alright, so let's keep going here. Takes, now the rook is off, and you're worse here. And here, again, I don't know what you didn't like about this pawn, because you had this option so often to take it. So just take it, take this pawn, take with the knight, take with the queen, I don't care, but take this pawn. It is a pawn. Okay? Just take it. I don't know what you didn't like here, really. I don't know. Alright, knight e7, rook h1, queen f6, check, takes, queen f4, check. And here you're doing the right job. Here you're doing the right job, keeping the queens on the board, so you have more, you're posing more problems. With the queens off the board, white can do whatever he wants, right? He doesn't have to worry about his king anymore, so keep the queens on. And the same, like I said earlier, applies to the rooks as well. The more potential to pose problems to your opponent's king, the better. Rook c1, and here you play bishop c6, and here you had an unexpected resource, which is e5. And this is again comes down to candid moves. This move you might not even look at first because the bishop is hanging, but then you realize, oh, the rook is hanging on c1 and I can take it, and this queen endgame is just fine for black now, obviously. This is equal, and if white cannot take the bishop, then you have definitely gained something because you have opened up the bishop on d7, and now you have better play against the white king. So e5 was a nice little trick here. Alright, you play bishop c6, and yeah, there's not much more to say. Fortunately, your opponent played this move here, king f1, completely missing bishop b5 check, and now you spotted queen b1, very nice, and just take and up a piece, and game over, and your opponent resigned. So happy end in this game. Alright, so I really like this opening phase where you sacrifice the exchange and you had great compensation, but like I said, rook h4, and I think this is the biggest takeaway from this game. Yeah, like I said so many times, don't exchange pieces when you're down material in such a situation. And after that, well, I mean, you had a couple of moments where you could have taken on d4. I'm really not sure what you didn't like there. I really don't know, so I cannot say much about that. And then we had this one little trick there with e5, which just once again having the mind open for all these possibilities.